Let's talk about birth rates, a statistic that sounds boring, but is quietly threatening the future of our societies. While we've been distracted by climate change and political chaos, a silent crisis is unfolding. The world is running out of babies. This isn't a distant problem, it's happening now, and it's about to upend everything from pensions to elder care. For decades, we feared overpopulation. Now we've overcorrected, and demographers are sounding the alarm. Birth rates are plummeting, and the old model, a big base of young workers supporting a smaller group of retirees, is collapsing. Imagine more grandparents than grandchildren, a shrinking workforce, and social systems under unbearable strain. Tonight, we'll dive into a new study on the global baby bust, why people are having fewer kids, and what this means for our future. We'll explore the real reasons behind the decline, the consequences, and the sometimes desperate attempts to reverse it. This is the story of the Great Baby Bust, a crisis that's polite, quiet, and potentially devastating. And it all comes down to a number 2.1. In many places, we're nowhere close. Let's find out why. Time for the numbers. A new study across 14 developed nations just dropped, and not one is hitting the replacement rate of 2.1 children per woman. South Korea leads the low birth rate pack at a staggering 0.7. Spain and Italy hover around 1.2. Even the US and France are below replacement. This isn't just a statistical blip, it's a future where for every 3 grandparents there might be only 1 grandchild. The study also asked people how many kids they want. Most say 2, but reality falls short. The gap isn't about desire, it's about feasibility. People want families but can't make it work. Economic and social barriers are blocking the path to parenthood. The result? Empty playgrounds and a generation forced to choose between stability and starting a family. The study paints a picture of people who want kids, but face a world that makes it nearly impossible. This isn't a rejection of family. It's a system that's failing those who want one. The numbers are a warning. The dream of family life is slipping out of reach for millions, and the consequences are just beginning. Let's look at why this is happening. Why the disconnect? The first culprit, money. Raising a child is more expensive than ever. Childcare, housing, healthcare, education. The math just doesn't add up. Then there's career pressure. Taking time off for kids can derail careers, especially for women. The motherhood penalty is real. Urbanization makes things worse. Cities are cramped, expensive, and isolating, hardly ideal for raising kids. The village it takes to raise a child, replaced by anonymous high-rises and thin walls. Cultural shifts play a role too. Success isn't just marriage and kids anymore. People are prioritizing education, travel, and personal growth. The social pressure to have children has faded, and being child-free is more accepted. This freedom is good, but combined with economic and structural barriers, it's a recipe for falling birth rates. It's not one thing, it's everything, all at once. The result: people delay parenthood until it's too late, or opt out entirely. The dream of family life is colliding with the reality of modern life. And the numbers keep dropping. So what happens next? Let's look at the future. Fewer babies means fewer workers. Labor shortages hit every sector: construction, healthcare, tech. With fewer young people, economies slow down. Less growth, less innovation, less tax revenue. Social safety nets fray. Pension systems become unsustainable. Healthcare is overwhelmed by an aging population. The demographic time bomb, a shrinking, overburdened workforce supporting a massive elderly population. Societies adapt, sometimes in strange ways. Enter robot nurses and automated elder care, already being tested in Japan. But technology can't replace human connection. Loneliness becomes a crisis, especially for the elderly. Ghost towns emerge as schools close and villages empty out. The world grows quieter, emptier, and older. This isn't a dramatic apocalypse, it's a slow, creeping decline. The vibrancy of society fades, replaced by silence and stagnation. It's a future we should try to avoid. But can we? Let's see what governments are doing about it. Transition to next scene. Governments are panicking and throwing money at the problem. Enter the baby bonus cash for every child born. Hungary offers massive loans forgiven if you have 3 kids. Italy once proposed free farmland for big families. Parental leave is expanding, especially in Nordic countries, making it easier for both parents to take time off. Subsidized childcare is growing, aiming to ease the financial burden on young families. Some governments are even playing matchmaker. Japan funds speed dating events. Singapore runs a state dating agency. The message: please have more babies. But it's not just about cash, it's about making family life possible. Still, these efforts often feel desperate and sometimes awkward. The real question: do they work? Let's find out. Transition to next scene. Despite all the incentives, birth rates barely budge. One-off cash payments might speed up plans for some, but don't convince the undecided. The real costs, housing, childcare, job insecurity, aren't solved by a baby bonus. Even generous policies in France and Sweden haven't restored replacement-level fertility. The problem is deeper, a world where young people feel insecure about the future. Government programs help, but can't fix broken economic and social systems. The baby bust is a symptom of a society where starting a family feels risky, even impossible. Until we address the root causes, the crisis will continue. So what could actually work? Let's explore real solutions. Experts say we need systemic change, not short-term bribes. Start with work culture. Real work-life balance, shorter weeks, flexible hours, and parental leave for both parents. Make it normal for fathers to take time off and for careers to survive parenthood. Next, affordable housing. Build more family-sized homes, control rents, and curb speculation. A stable home makes starting a family possible. Rebuild community infrastructure, universal childcare, safe parks, libraries, and support centers for parents. Foster neighborhoods where families feel welcome, not isolated. It's about designing cities for people, not just profit. Media and culture matter too. Show honest, positive portrayals of family life and celebrate involved fatherhood. Shift the narrative. Family life should feel possible and supported. It's a long game, but it's the only way to close the gap between what people want and what's possible. Real change means reimagining society itself. But what if we can't turn things around? What if low birth rates are the new normal? Maybe the goal isn't to force numbers up, but to adapt. Some experts suggest rethinking our addiction to endless growth. A smaller population could mean a focus on well-being, sustainability, and equity, not just GDP. Automation and AI would fill labor gaps, freeing people for more meaningful work. The challenge: ensure the benefits of technology are shared, not hoarded. Social structures would need to change. Multi-generational housing, new roles for the elderly, and stronger community ties. An older, smaller society could be quieter, but also more sustainable and humane. It's not necessarily a dystopia, if we manage the transition wisely. The future could be different, but not doomed. The key is to adapt, not panic. So what's next? We're at a demographic crossroads. Falling birth rates reflect economic anxiety, work pressure, and social isolation. Having a child is an act of optimism, a bet on the future. For many, that bet feels too risky. This isn't about disliking babies, it's about a world that makes raising them nearly impossible. The issue touches everyone: your pension, healthcare, and the vibrancy of society. We have two paths: radical action to make society family-friendly, or adaptation to a smaller, older world. The first path means better work-life balance, affordable housing, universal childcare, and a supportive culture. The second means re-engineering economies, embracing automation, and redesigning communities for an older population. Both require profound change. The choice: heal society so people can have the families they want, or adapt to a quieter, slower future. Ignoring the problem isn't an option. The silence in maternity wards is the sound of our future being decided. We all have a stake in what comes next, and maybe, just maybe, we can build a future worth hearing.